War and Order is a mobile city builder strategy game packed with minigames like tower defense and teamed up boss eliminations. Welcome back, lords and ladies. If you are playing War and Order, you know this game is unforgiving. One bad decision can set your progress back by weeks, or worse, wipe you out completely. Today we are cutting through the noise and looking at the 4 absolute biggest mistakes new players and even some veterans make that ruin their accounts. We aren't talking about small optimizations, we're talking about account breaking errors that usually lead to players quitting the game entirely. We are going to cover why your castle level might be a trap, how you're literally throwing troops away, why your army composition might be weak, and the number 1 way people waste their money. Let's get into the 4 biggest noob mistakes in War and Order. The first mistake is a castle rush trap. It is very tempting to just push your castle level as high as possible, hitting level 30 to unlock new features. But here's a reality. If you push your castle level without building up your medic tents and hospital, yeah, you are building a glass cannon. I've seen players with castle level 30 who have less than 100,000 hospital capacity. When these players get hit, and they will get hit, they lose everything. If your hospital capacity is lower than your total troop count, any troops that do not fit in the hospital and overflow the sanctuary limit are dead. Gone, permanent losses. Here is how you fix this. Go to your drill grounds and click Marching Army. Look at your wounded number. That is your hospital capacity. Your goal is to keep your total number of troops at home roughly equal to or lower than this number, especially when you are offline. To increase this, you need to prioritize upgrading your hospitals, which gives 1000 capacity per level, and your medic tents, which give 500 per level. Don't forget your college research under the development tab. The medical facilities tag can give you 15% boost to capacity. There are also beast skills like Wounded Limit that can temporarily boost this cap if you know that you're going to take a hit. Do not be the player with a big castle and no army, because you couldn't heal them. Mistake number 2 is leaking troops. This happens when you go offline with excess troops sitting in your city unshielded. If you have, for example, 400,000 troops but only 180,000 hospital capacity, you are a walking target. If you are going to sleep or stepping away, you must hide your troops. There are 3 reliable ways to do this. First, the Alliance Fortress. Send your troops to reinforce the Alliance Fort. This is the safest place in the game because the fortress cannot be attacked. Second, Shielded Friends. Reinforce a trusted alliance member who has a shield up and will keep it up. Yeah, this can be a little bit more complicated because you don't know how long the shield lasts. This should be like just a backup plan, you know? It's better to go with Alliance Fortress. But we also have number 3, shield yourself. At least you know how long it's gonna last. There is a specific version of this mistake that is even worse. Farming with your main account. When you send your main army out to gather, especially in elite mines, you are vulnerable. The absolute worst thing you can do is to fill an elite mine to 5 players. Because if an elite mine is full, no one can reinforce it. If an enemy attacks that mine, all 5 of you take losses. Smart enemies will hit your farming tiles first to fill up your hospital with wounded troops, and then they will hit your main city to kill the rest permanently. Use farm accounts for gathering, keep your main combat ready or hidden. Mistake number 3 is trying to be good at everything. Many new players train every troop type evenly, thinking a balanced army is best, but it is not. You need to decide, are you a mage player or an archer player? Your army composition typically relies on a tanky frontline, infantry and a high damage backline. You shouldn't mix archers and mages in your main march because you dilute your stats. Think about your artifacts and gear. Look at Apollo's bow. At 2 stars, it increases archer attack. If half your backline is mages, they get 0 benefit from that artifact. The same goes for the Dragon Shard Staff. It boosts mages, doing nothing for archers. By splitting your focus, you end up with medicore stats for bows. Pick one. If you choose mages, go all in. Train mages, craft mage gear and upgrade mage-specific artifacts. This specialization is what allows you to actually do damage in PvP. If you try to buff everything, you end up buffing nothing. Finally, mistake number 4 involves your wallet. Whether you are a big spender or a budget player, the worst thing you can spend money on is resources. Do not buy food and wood packs to rush a building upgrade. Resources can be farmed, they can be looted from enemies, and they can be gathered by farm accounts. They are temporary. If you get zeroed, those resources are gone. Instead, if you are going to spend on technology, spend on things that give permanent stat boosts. Buy artifact fragments, beast upgrades or totem materials. These stats stay with you forever. An upgrade to your beast or your officer equipment adds power that no enemy can take away from you. Buying resources is a short-term gain that leads to long-term weakness. So let's do a recap. First, prioritize your hospital capacity over your castle level. Second, hide your troops in the Alliance fortress, not in resource tiles, or keep them home without having a P shield, if you are over your hospital capacity. Third, specialize your army into either mages or archers. Fourth, never ever spend money on resources, invest into tech. Avoid those 4 traps and you will survive while others burn. If you haven't downloaded War and Order yet, use the link in the description to support the channel. If you enjoyed this guide, drop a like and subscribe. Check out my other videos for War and Order, and I will see you on the next one.